everyone. I'm Larry Ridley. Welcome to the NFL on EA Sports. Ahead, we'll see two of the most dangerous guys in the NFL coming off the edge. It's Vic Beasley and J.J. Watt.
All right, Larry, thank you very much. It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. The scene from a few moments ago, this crowd enthusiastically cheering on their Texans as they emerge from the locker room. And we're just about ready for football as the Texans get set to match up with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, where that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front and linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
Freeman again, a first down carry. Fights through, and now a crease. Devontae Freeman, they're not going to get him. Touchdown, Falcons. Devontae Freeman, 62 yards. And the Falcons have taken the early lead. You talk about explosion plays. Here's one pretty much right out of the gate.
And now they get to ride a wave of emotion, momentum, everything. Just as you described, right out of the gate, big sprint, touchdown. They're excited. But on the other side, they've got to guard against a major letdown because they hit them right in the gut with that one. And now you start to question yourself a little bit when you give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
Here comes Bruce Ellington on the return. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. Savage on first. And he's got him over the middle. Fedorowicz. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup. Now, Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Second down following the run. Back to throw, Savage. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Deion Jones. Tough to handle on that blitz. He gets him for a loss of 5. So after the sack of Savage, the Texans with a 3rd and long forthcoming. From the gun, here's Savage. He finds his target, Fuller. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. They get 14 on that one. Good for a Houston first down. first down carry now for Miller. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
Let's go. Green, 30.
There's Savage now on second. Caught. It's Ellington. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory, even if they don't get it, though. They'll try to run for it with Miller. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
And, partner, in a lot of short yardage situations, you'll see the linebackers step up into the gaps, what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, to make sure they take away all spaces, all creases. That one worked really well for them.
They only needed a yard, instead went backwards. Bill O'Brien, an offensive mind, and he's going to trust his offense here. They're going for it on 4th.
Here we go now. Blue
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Now a play fake here on first down. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Vic Beasley. In from his linebacker spot. He's able to drop him for a loss of about 10. And the 8th play on this drive coming up.
All right, here we go. Green, 39.
On second down, here's Savage. Underneath for Miller. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. Give him 6 on the play. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14. I don't think it's a surprise they're throwing the football early. We expected that. They told us they were going to come out firing, but 4 for 4 on the opening drive. They like that.
They don't just like it, they love it, because now everyone gets locked in. Your confidence jumps up. Everyone's easy about what they're doing out there. And by the way, they're looking at the sideline thinking to themselves and expressing, let's keep throwing it. We're doing pretty well.
Savage. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Brooks Reed in there to drop him for a loss of 10. And it'll be 4th and long. On 4th down, here's the veteran Shane Leckler to punt it away. Back deep here, Andre Roberts. And there's a work of art right there. Out of bounds at the 2-yard line. Well, let's go league-wide before this next drive starts. Last week, we discussed some of the trades that happened. Jay Ajayi did look pretty good in a Philly uniform. Long touchdown run.
Boy, they really made a great deal to get him, and now they compare him with LeGarrette Blount, and he kind of got a thunder-lightning type thing. And Ajayi showed some lightning against Denver. But how about this? Kelvin Benjamin went, but on a Thursday night game, not enough time to get him ready to play for his new team in Buffalo. Jimmy Garoppolo did not play with San Francisco. We'll find out when they both will get on the field. And how about the Saints and the Cardinals? Because remember, the Adrian Peterson trade, I think it benefited both teams.
Yeah, AP went over 100 yards. Kamara and Ingram, they've really settled in as well. Freeman again. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs. On first down, Ryan. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Bernardrick McKinney coming on the blitz. He gets him for a loss of 7. second down, Freeman. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That one whistled against a big right tackle.
You'd think being able to fire out and block, it'd be a lot easier to not commit a holding penalty, but it's tough to keep those guys right in front, isn't it?
On second down, Ryan. They'll set up the screen for Freeman. And he'll get it up a little shy of the 15. They'll spot him down at the 14-yard line. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third. And some secondary help here for the defense in the nickel on third and long. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And a nice spin into some open field. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Nice job by that defensive front there to hold him to a short gain on first down. Well played, I must say.
Yeah, only getting 1 yard. There was no room to run. Now Ryan on second down. He completes it to Jones. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. A phrase we said a lot last year, Ryan to Jones for a Falcon first down. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. 2 minutes to play here in the first half. We're back to Houston after this timeout. Offense walks to the line for play number 7 of the drive. Here's Coleman on the toss. Room here to run. And he's going to take this one down inside the 45. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
That's a strong pickup right there on first down. And as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Coleman. And a big tackle there as the defender runs right through it, right at the line of scrimmage. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle. That's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. The punter Bosher on now as he gets this one away. And the fair catch is made. It's going to pin him back here at the 7-yard line. It's just a 32-yard punt with no return. And the Texans are going to have the football with a 1st and 10 deep in their own territory. And not great starting field position here for the offense. They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down. First down now, but that clock rolling. On first down, it's Savage. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Really nice starting field position here for the offensive unit. This is Freeman on 1st and 10. Space to run past the 20. Touchdown, Falcons! Devontae Freeman with his second touchdown here in this first half. And the Falcons will extend their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Heading out is the Texans offense as they get set to take over here. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The improv on the scramble there gets him 6, and it'll be 2nd down. So the offense readies for a 2nd and 4. From the shotgun snap. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They begin the drive with Coleman. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot. But they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he'll get this up over the 25 to the 26. 9 big yards on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Another good run for him. What else is new? That'll put him right at 150 yards for the game, so he's really made his presence felt in this one.
Again, they'll run with Freeman. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. And the offense lining up 1st and 10. They toss to Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. So we've hit Well, Larry, I know it's late there in Orlando. This is a school night. Folks eager to get right back to the action here in the 3rd quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back on the field here. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there, because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. but typically halftime locker room.
And I think the ball's out, but this will get out of bounds, so possession will stay the same. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
I don't know about you, but I could hear and feel the sigh of relief all the way up here in our booth.
That was palpable. The sideline, the friend there.
No doubt about it. Ball goes over the sideline, able to retain possession, no turnover. I know his coaches are screaming, just hang on to the ball, man.
He was looking to get it to his running back, Lamar Miller, and it's third down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
The Texans on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 8.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19. Detroit. Detroit. Over.
Out of the gun, Savage. Escaping the pressure right. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. You just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taking it about the 16. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Here comes the Falcons offense. It's their first possession of the second half now. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive. As they score here, especially a touchdown, it's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, in fact, you can take the spirit away from another team. That their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still third quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
The left side completion to Jones. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. A gain of 39 that time. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
He's had a big game tonight, and while no one's going to be overly concerned about that last play, you also know that the offensive coordinator does not want to see that happen again. They want to get back to doing what they've been doing all game long.
On second down, here's Ryan. Looking deep for Julio. And he's unable to grab it. Thought he might have had position, couldn't hold on, third down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. On third down, that's Coleman, and he'll get it down on the play to the 37. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. They'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And this is off target to the left. Didn't get there anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Well, this winds up an empty possession. Everything looked okay. He just never got the ball on target. And knowing him, he'll be disappointed with that effort.
So after the missed long field goal attempt, this offense set up nicely at the 44-yard line. Here's Savage on first down. And almost intercepted. It would have been his second pick of the game. Instead, it'll be second down. Well, on that incompletion, let's discuss how Week 9 on Sunday, November 5th, there was a full moon, and there were some full moon happenings in the NFL, wasn't there?
There certainly were, and think about it this way. Blair Walsh, who was 16 for 17 in field goals when the game began against Washington, he missed 3 for Seattle in that game. Might have been the difference. Julio Jones.
Yeah, drop pass in the end zone that could have won the game.
When does Julio Jones drop passes, especially open as he was there? And how about two teams putting 51 points on the board? The Los Angeles Rams against the Giants And, of course,
Philadelphia did it against Denver.
Denver, the #1 defense in the league.
Full moon. Throwing on third down, it's Savage. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 47. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. This D wanting to put it away before we even get to the fourth quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. They'll try and get the run game going. This is Miller. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
To throw on 2nd down is Savage. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So after the sack of Savage, the Texans with a 3rd and long forthcoming. Savage now to throw. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he's going to be stopped up right at the line of scrimmage. The completion there winds up a wash, and it'll bring up 4th down. A defense loves to hang their hat on that, don't they? You get a guy that catches the ball, but you stop him for no gain.
Without a doubt, because they're also used to trying to catch people after the catch.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Risky.
It is so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense.
And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. Austin Hooper, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Falcons will add on to their lead. The tight end can kind of be that diamond in the rough secret weapon that you have, and right there they show you why.
And it's becoming less of a secret, isn't it, partner? Every game that we do nowadays, the tight end is a featured receiver, not just a blocker, as in the days of old.
It's good, and they stretch their lead to 28-0 now. Here's Bosher to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. And the Texans set to come onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point. Back now in So 2nd and 9, the defense looking to put them in a bad spot here.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Operating from the gun. Savage. He's going to wind up and air it out. And for the 4th time tonight, it's an interception. Picked up by Keanu Neal. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And tough going there as he'll only get it up to about the 31. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen.
Julio Jones all alone. The 20. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones, an 80-yard touchdown. And the Falcons continue to pour it on. And, my friend, I think it's safe to say that this game is pretty much deceased at this point. It's taken a knee, so to speak.
It is definitely this victory formation. Take the snap, take the knee, call it a night, call it a game, call it whatever. I agree with you totally. I don't think there's much left to get except for those who want to run up the score.
I knew this was over about a minute ago when you took your stat sheet and just flipped it over your shoulder in the trash can.
Yeah, that's similar to the guys cutting tape off right before the game's over. We know this thing's done.
And they'll start in a hole here as he's brought down at the 11-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. The Pro Bowler DeAndre Hopkins, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down. Another wayward pass. Things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
On 2nd and 10, Savage. He's going to float this one deep right side. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. The Texans on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 10. Here is Savage. That's caught. Fedorowicz. And he'll be brought down, it looks like, right at the 15. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down.
Detroit! Here we go now. Watch it now, Barney.
So the offense a little antsy. The flag comes out, and a 5-yard penalty. They're A critical one here if they're going to have any shot at this thing. So they'll go for it on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And they will not be able to hook up there. It's incomplete. Bill O'Brien rolls the dice, but to no avail. And now, goodness, possession's going to go over right at the 10-yard line. They'll run here with Freeman. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. A good red zone run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd and goal. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time.
And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. Devontae Freeman taking it in. And the Falcons add on. So another score there, and often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And not a good return here. He is brought down at the 7-yard line.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And tough starting field position here. They go play action here on 1st down. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
Yeah, several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. That's good for a Texan 1st down, a 12-yard pickup. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game. Lamar Miller. He's at the 50, the 30, past the 20, and he's across for the touchdown. Too little, too late, but he does get in for 6.
No wonder you're grinning. You just beat me in our fantasy league.
Indeed I did, my good man. So they will get on the scoreboard here. Give them credit for that. Too little, too late, but no 0. Oh, you're going slow clap on me.
Not very nice, is it?
No, but they haven't been very nice on offense. It's been a struggle. Here's Savage. That's caught. And he will get into the end zone as the deficit moves from really bad to slightly less than really bad. So still lots of work left to do, but here comes the onside kick. And a good job here by the Falcons, their hands team, able to recover it. Well, 4th quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when the coaches tell us, well, when you score on special teams, 93% of the time you win the game. I'm still waiting to see that number is empirical.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Ryan under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney not dropping into coverage. He comes on the blitz and takes him down for a loss of 9. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the sack pushes him back, and now 3rd and long for Ryan and the Falcons. Ryan. And it's complete. Hooper. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. So after that big play, let's see if they can catch their defense maybe on their heels. They'll toss it to Coleman. He's to the 10, and he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Here's Bosher to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. And now out comes Houston. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Here's Savage. Forced out to his left. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, start the bus, because they think this one is over. But when the highlight is shown of this play, all attention is going to be on the person running with the football. But how about the group as a whole, setting up that big-time return, yardage that we won't even account for in the box score, may help them win the game.
Now they'll run it on the toss. Dances by at the 20, and he gets this one all the way down inside the 20-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They will run again with Coleman. And effective running here. He'll take it down inside the 10. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2. Here's Coleman. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12.